Hello everybody and welcome to the Daytona 500 and the beginning of our 2003 NR2003 season here at the Daytona International Speedway. Your reigning Daytona 500 champion Michael Waltrip starts on the pole position alongside Kurt Busch in the 97, who finished third in the championship for just last season. Jimmy Johnson third, Dale Jarrett fourth, and Robbie Gordon rounds on the top five as we get ready to get underway and begin the Daytona 500. The green flag is out and we are green from Daytona. The Daytona 500 is underway here in 2003. Michael Waltrip and Kurt Busch battle for the race lead as they go through the front straightaway and head towards turn one. Jimmy Johnson behind them, already looking to make it pass as they look at this thundering pack of 42 V8 powered engine stock cars here as they go through turn 1 and 2 now. Michael Waltrip will clear the 97 of Kurt Busch for the race lead, so Mikey takes the lead, trying to go back-to-back Daytona 500 wins. But here comes the 48 of Jimmy Johnson underneath him. 48, of course, Jimmy Johnson, his rookie season last year, had a strong season, 2 victories, ended up finishing, I believe, 12th in the point standings and made the round of 8. So great job for the 48 team there. Now he's going to lead with help from Robbie Gordon in the 31, who had a bit of a rough year last season, his first with RCRs. Jimmy Johnson now to the lead at Daytona. Jimmy Johnson going to take the lead from Michael Waltrip, and he's going to block the lanes, controlling both Michael Waltrip and Robbie Gordon behind him, and leading the opening lap of racing here at Daytona. It goes to Jimmy Johnson. Now into lap number 2, Jimmy continues to blocks Mikey up high, then he's going to go back to block Robbie Gordon down the bottom of the racetrack, doing a great job right now of managing the race lead. Jimmy Johnson doing exactly what he needs to do here to start the season off as you look throughout the pack, see all the guys at the back of the field. You see Ryan Newman back there, Bill Elliott, Terry Labonte, Dale Jr. still got some track position to work his way back up to the front. Meanwhile, at the front now, Robbie Gordon has now cleared Michael Waltrip for second, and behind him there, 3 wide for third, Jeremy Mayfield, Mark Martin trying to keep that momentum going from the end of 2002 with that Homestead win as he goes underneath Mayfield and Michael Waltrip and moves into the third position now. And now the top 3 cars are now single file and clear. Jimmy Johnson, Robbie Gordon, and Mark Martin now controlling this race. Mayfield clear for 4th as Michael Waltrip, the outside lane, is dying out. The inside power's got 4 guys clear as they're hauling it down here into turn 1 and 2. Behind them, the cars are going through, and Michael Waltrip going way up the racetrack back there. The 15 is going to get up the track, and Michael Waltrip's going to get into the wall, and he's going to spin. Around goes Michael Waltrip into Kurt Busch, and he's crashing in front of the field. And the big one underway here at Daytona. Multiple cars colliding into each other. The big one strikes here on lap number 3 at Daytona. Kurt Busch and Michael Waltrip in front of the pack. Takes out many contenders. You see Dave Blaney's in it. The 83 of Kenny Wallace is around. You got the 45 of Kyle Petty, Elliott Sadler involved, Terry Labonte, Steve Park, Damage, Brett Bodine, Ryan Newman. Looks like Jason Hedleski gets a piece of it as well. A huge crash here right from the front of the pack. Michael Waltrip is going way too high up the racetrack, gets into the wall, and the car just turns on him into the 97 of Kurt Busch, who gets hit right down into Kyle Petty. So lucky was the 23 of Kerry Earnhardt to get by him. See Dave Blaney gets clipped, Kyle Petty gets into John Andretti, then Kenny Wallace goes up into Elliott Sadler into the wall. They slide down. The ARCA brakes from Bodine and Hedleski collect more cars in this incident. Kenny Schrader gets a little bit of damage. Mike Skinner makes it through unscathed. Matt Kenseth gets some damage as well as Jimmy Spencer right at the end of that. Your defending champion of Kenseth, of course. Small little bit of damage, but really Michael Waltrip and Kurt Busch in front of everybody. Shockingly not as many cars piling as I thought it would be. A lot of guys did a great job avoiding this, like Rusty Wallace and Greg Biffle did a tremendous job getting through there, as did Junior, Jeff Green, and Bill Elliott. But the rest of the guys back here, ARCA breaking down the bottom. Huge damage. Bunch of cars destroyed here at Daytona as the big one strikes early here in the Daytona 500. Many cars involved. Meanwhile, back to the front, Jimmy Johnson continuing to lead over Jeremy Mayfield and Jack Sprague, who is in third trying to go for a second. But Jimmy Johnson leads the field back to the caution flag here at Daytona. And now we move on to the restart on lap 7 from that crash. Kenny Wallace and Jason Hedleski have DNF'd from this race, so we will no longer be seeing them in contention. They are out. And of course, there's going to be all the damaged cars at the back of the field off the pace. But right now, Jimmy Johnson leads us back to green once again. A great start to this race for him. Controlling the race since lap 1, he has been. Then you got Jeremy Mayfield running in second, Johnny Benson there in third, Mark Martin in fourth, and Tony Stewart up there in the 5th position. As you look throughout the back, you see back to the field all these damaged cars back here. You see Kurt Busch is back there. Michael Waltrip, shockingly for the one who started that whole thing, does not look that bad damage-wise. He might still be able to contend for this race here. But obviously, all the guys who took the big hits, not so much. But Jimmy Johnson leading Jeremy Mayfield. Here comes Johnny Benson to the inside of the 19 as Benson powers into second place in that number 10 Dodge Valvoline, number 10 Valvoline Pontiac here at Daytona. Benson into second. Tony Stewart driving his way into third, getting by Mayfield. He's got the 21 of Ricky Rudd behind him. Of course, driving for the Wood Brothers now after leaving Robert Yates Racing after a disappointing end to the 2002 season. Him and Elliott Sadler basically switched rides over the offseason, and they rebranded that 28 to the 38 for Elliott Sadler as Jimmy Johnson continues to block the lines and hold this race lead over Benson, Stewart, and Rudd. See up there, you got Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, Joe Nemechek in this pack. Of course, Dale Jr., that 8-car Pied Piper here at Daytona. Dale Jr. making his moves, trying to get up to the front right there behind the 01 machine of Jerry Nadeau, who's having a tremendous run. I got the 23 of Kerry Earnhardt there on the outside of Dale Jr. So you got two Earnhardts up here. Of course, Jerry Nadeau in the 01, leaving Hendrick Motorsports, being replaced by Joe Nemechek. And here comes Ricky Rudd to the race lead. Jimmy, the 48, gets hung out on the top line, and Jimmy Johnson's going to lose the race lead in a bunch of positions as Ricky Rudd now takes the lead of the Daytona 500 on lap number 10. He leads over Jerry Nadeau and Dale Earnhardt Jr. So Ricky Rudd with that 3-wide move through turn 3 and 4 gets the race lead, and the pack continues to make moves back and forth here, heading down into turn 1 and 2. Continuing to lead is Ricky Rudd Jr. now to the inside of the 01 of Mark Martin. Sorry, not Mark Martin. Jeez, I'm thinking 2007. The 01 of Jerry Nadeau Jr. gets around him. He's got Jeff Burton, the 99, behind him, and then Joe Nemechek in the 25 trying to work their way up. But right now it's Ricky Rudd leading over Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Daytona. What does Jr. have to be in contention here, or does he have enough to block Jeff Burton? He does. He's got to get a run here on Ricky Rudd if he wants this race lead to make it happen. But through 3 and 4, it looks like Ricky Rudd is going to be holding the race lead strong here. 11 laps into the Daytona 500. As you got a bunch of guys back there still side by side throughout the pack. Jeff Burton underneath Jr. for second, but Ricky Rudd leads at Daytona 11 laps in. Now we move on to a caution that's brought out a restart on lap 39. The 17 of Matt Kenseth, your defending 2002 and 2003 champion, will be out of this race and finish in 40th, earning only 1 point to start his championship defense. A rough Daytona 500 start for Matt Kenseth. He will be out of this race, and he'll have some work to do early in the season to get up in the points contention. Back here, look at the slow lap car that's damaged. That is the 11 of Brett Bodine, who completely ARCA-braked in that first big one that struck on lap 3. And ever since has been super slow, holding up a bunch of guys back here. So he's holding up the 40 of Sterling Marlin right there behind him. Also, you got the rookie Greg Biffle in the 16 for Roush Racing, the reigning Busch Series champion, trying to get up into contention here. You got the 29 of Kevin Harvick flying by on the inside lane. You got Jimmy Spencer. Biffle slides down, though. He will make his move to get by the 11 of Brett Bodine, who now goes lower to block over Sterling Marlin. And see back here, everyone at the back struggling for some track position. Junior Mark Martin must have pitted. They have their work cut out for them to get back up to the front of the field, as does Jeff Gordon, Rusty Wallace. They got some work to do get up to the front right now as Brett Bodine's slow number 11 Hooters machine continues to stack up the field. As now they work their way into turn 1 and 2. Back at the front of the field, everyone's scattering all over the place. Looks like Ricky Rudd, Ricky Craven battling right there. We got the 97 Kurt Busch, of course, damaged in the big one of the opening few laps of the race. He's still holding up, guys. But at the front of the field, Bill Elliott leads the Daytona 500 with Mike Skinner and Jimmy Johnson battling for second. Here comes that 48. Jimmy Johnson's car has been very fast today. He's one of the top contenders for this race win, I believe. Jimmy, a quick car in contention. Got 20 laps to go in stage 1 here. Jimmy Johnson to the inside of Bill Elliott. Jimmy Johnson's going to get help from the 19 of Jeremy Mayfield, Bill Elliott's teammate, and Jimmy Johnson is going to take the lead back here to the Daytona 500 from Bill Elliott in the 9 as they power their way down towards turn 1 here at Daytona. Jimmy Johnson making it happen as he drives into the lead by both Evernham cars. And now on to the last lap of stage 1. Jeremy Mayfield now leading, looking for the stage win. The lap car, Brett Bodine playing a factor, slowing down Jimmy Johnson on the bottom there and Harvick on the top. It is now Mayfield and Burton who have escaped with the 29 of Harvick to be a 3-car pull-away mini pack here on the last lap of the stage. Brett Bodine's number 11 still holding up so many of the contenders here for the stage. Look, he's holding up the 48 Jimmy Johnson, one of the fastest cars in this race so far. Jerry Nadeau trying to make something happen back there, but looks like Mayfield might hold on. Now as they work their way towards turn 3 and 4 for the final lap of stage 1, looks like Jeremy Mayfield will get the stage win here over Jeff Burton. See, they're catching some lap traffic up ahead, but it looks like Mayfield's going to hold on with that move to get around the lap car of Brett Bodine. It was really the deciding factor of this stage as you watch the lap car Steve Park cross the line. So Jeremy Mayfield wins stage 1 at Daytona, followed by Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick, Jerry Nadeau, Jimmy Johnson, Mike Skinner, Jeff Green, Ricky Craven, Greg Biffle, and Scott Wimmer the top 10 in stage 1 of the Daytona 500. Now on to lap 126, the last lap of stage 2 here at Daytona. It's down to Jeremy Mayfield and Kevin Harvick once again for the stage win. Coming up to lap the rookie of Jamie McMurray and then the 20 of Tony Stewart. They're trying to make a move. Harvick, though, going to go to the inside of Mayfield for the lead. He thought of going with him to the high side, but he ditches him. Harvick now going for the lead and the stage 2 win here at Daytona. Can he make it happen? Harvick had a rough 2002 season, not the way he really wanted to have it go, but he's looking to make a comeback here in 2003, have a strong year, get into the playoffs as he goes to the inside of Jeremy Mayfield, drafting up to Jamie McMurray up in front of him. Harvick is going to get clear. Mayfield no help on that outside lane. Harvick has to draft to McMurray and Stewart up ahead and down the front straightaway. Kevin Harvick is going to steal stage 2 here in Daytona from Mayfield on the last lap. Harvick wins stage 2, followed by Mayfield. Then you're going to have the 01 of Jerry Nadeau. Then you're going to have Michael Waltrip in the 15. You got Ricky Craven, Jeff Green. Then you're going to have the 21 of Ricky Rudd coming through back here in the 7th position in the stage. And then Jimmy Johnson is 8th. 9th is Jeff Burton. And Dale Jarrett is going to round out your top 10 in stage 2 here at Daytona. So Jeremy Mayfield won stage 1, but Kevin Harvick wins stage 2 here at Daytona. Now we move on to just 3 laps to go. Now only 2 to go in the Daytona 500. Jimmy Johnson is leading, looking to win the Great American Race, and only his second attempt at the Daytona 500. He's leading over the 21 of Ricky Rudd, trying to get the Wood brothers back in victory lane for the first time in a while. As right now Jimmy Johnson is leading Rudd second, but here comes the 29 of Kevin Harvick on the inside of Ricky Rudd, almost trying to get into second. Harvick trying to make it happen for Richard Childress and get that 29 car in victory lane for the first time since his rookie season at Richmond of 01. They got Nadeau back in 4th and Jeff Green in 5th. Jimmy Johnson holding the lead, doing a great job blocking and managing his lead. He has been basically the dominant car today with the speed, who's led a bunch of laps. Harvick, Ricky Rudd, they've been on and off, but they've been at the front as well. Jerry Nadeau in the new ride, the 01 machine, trying to make it work. Jeff Green back there, trying to get hot like he did last season. Harvick underneath Ricky Rudd for second. A white flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank here in the Daytona 500. Jimmy Johnson leads. Kevin Harvick in second, trying to make a charge here through 1 and 2. Can Jimmy Johnson hang on to win this race? He has been so dominant in this final stage. Harvick, though, won stage 2, is going to get a run here with help from the 01 U.S. Army machine of Jerry Nadeau down the backstretch. What does Harvick do? Does he make his move? Oh, and when does he make it? And does he make it right? Here comes the 29 of Harvick. He goes to the inside of Jimmy Johnson into 3 and 4 for the final time, and he hangs out the 48, and Harvick has help behind him, and through 3 and 4. Kevin Harvick to the lead of the Daytona 500 on the last corner, and now down the front straightaway, coming to the tri-oval. With that move, Kevin Harvick is going to win the Daytona 500. Harvick, a Daytona 500 champion. He's into the playoffs. Jerry Nadeau second, Jeff Green third, Jimmy Johnson 4th, Ricky Rudd rounds out your top 5. Tony Stewart is going to be 6th, Michael Waltrip 7th, Mayfield is 8th, Mike Skinner 9th, and Dale Jarrett rounds out your top 10. How about that? A last lap pass for the win by Kevin Harvick. Gets around the 48 of Jimmy Johnson and steals it from him at the last second. That's why they call him the closer, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin Harvick gets it done, wins the Daytona 500, and is into the playoffs for the first time in his career. You see the race results on the left side of your screen, the DNFs there at the back, and the top finishers at the very top. And in a few short moments, we'll see the playoff grid. Now we get the updated playoff grid. Of course, you see Kevin Harvick locked in the playoffs with his Daytona 500 win. And really, this is going to change drastically over the next couple of races. So really not much you're taking from here. Obviously, Jerry Nadeau, Mayfield, Jeff Green, Jimmy Johnson, Michael Waltrip. Good start to the year. But this is all going to change as you can take a look as you want here at the top 21. So until next episode, for the second race of the season at Rockingham, I hope you all have a good one.